Have you ever looked at Roman buildings, bridges, harbors, domes, and wondered how some of them are still standing after nearly 2,000 years? Because here's the crazy part. Roman concrete doesn't just last. In certain conditions, it can get stronger over time and even help seal tiny cracks. So what did the Romans know that modern concrete sometimes struggles with? Let's start with the modern problem. Modern concrete is strong, but it's not perfect. Over time, it can crack. Water sneaks in, salt can enter, steel inside can corrode, and small damage slowly turns into big damage. Now rewind to ancient Rome. The Romans used a different recipe, especially in their marine structures. Instead of relying mostly on Portland cement like we do today, they combined lime with volcanic ash, often called pozzolana, plus rock fragments. That volcanic ash is the key, because when volcanic ash reacts with lime and water, it creates strong binding materials, basically microscopic glue that locks everything together. But the really interesting part is something people used to think was a mistake. If you look closely at Roman concrete, you can find tiny white chunks, little pieces of lime. For years, some people assumed that meant poor mixing, like the builders didn't finish the job. But now the theory is, those lime pieces can act like a built-in repair kit. Here's how. When a crack forms, water finds the crack first. That water can reach those lime-rich spots. And when lime meets water, it can react and release minerals. Those minerals can precipitate, basically form solid material that helps fill and seal microcracks. So instead of a crack growing freely, the concrete sometimes fights back from the inside. Now let's talk about the ocean. Roman harbors are where things get even more impressive. Seawater is usually brutal on concrete. Salt and constant wetting can destroy structures over time. But Roman marine concrete didn't just survive seawater, it interacted with it. In seawalls and harbor structures, seawater can move through tiny pores. That sounds bad, but the chemistry can trigger the formation of new minerals that stiffen and strengthen parts of the concrete matrix over long periods. So in certain environments, the material doesn't simply age, it evolves. That's why some ancient piers and harbor structures lasted for centuries, even with waves hitting them every day. Now, does that mean Roman concrete is always better than modern concrete? Not exactly. Modern concrete is designed for speed, consistency, and massive global construction. Roman concrete was slower, more local, and depended heavily on the exact materials available, especially the right volcanic ash. But the lesson is powerful. The Romans weren't just building with strength. They were building with chemistry, time, and environment in mind. They used ingredients that didn't just harden once and stop. They created a system where reactions could continue slowly and sometimes improve the structure. So when you see a Roman dome or an ancient seawall still standing, you're not just looking at old architecture. You're looking at a material recipe that cooperated with nature instead of fighting it. And that's why Roman concrete still stands.